shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hdo.com or call 0800 335555.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotellaconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
I want to say to all of us, Merry Christmas. But what does that mean to us? Why are we happy? Why are we rejoicing? I think it's the intervention of God. The intervention of God into our affairs. The God who is so concerned about humanity, and he comes down to take flesh for us so he can redeem us. That's Christmas. It's a redemptive season. It's a season when God intervenes into our affairs. It's a season of regaining back humanity from the lost world and bringing them into a time when they can reflect. So we always, as Christians, take this season very seriously, and like to reflect on the goodness of God, on the things and the love of God, on the things that God is doing, that he has loved us so much and gave us his own begotten Son. Christ himself came down on earth and was born as a baby and grew up among us and took humanity and took flesh and became like us. Although he was holy and he was not sinful like us, but he grew amongst us in order to help us to recap back our position that we lost in the fall. So Christmas is a season of reminder, and I pray that you be reminded again of the love of God. You'll be reminded that God is caring for us. We'll be reminded that God is loving. We'll be reminded that God is forgiving. Because when Jesus was born, it was a cancellation of our debt, of our sin. When he went to the cross, it gave us a beauty of why his mission was here on earth. So I want to remind all of you, make the best use of this Christmas season and use it profitably. Be responsible, but be reflective. Be reflective. Reflect on it. Reflect on your life on earth. Reflect on how you have walked with God in the span of your little life. I know you've had many Christmases possibly, but have you reflected on why God has kept you up to this time and you have come through? Christmas is a stopover where you'll be able to look back and reflect on the many things Christ has done for us. So I call upon all of us to reflect that. As a nation, let's think about it. Let's think about Christ. Our nation is a God-fearing nation. I want us to reflect on that and keep that so that 2026 will be totally brand new for us again. Come with it in the fear of the Lord and respect God and honor God and be a child of God. That's a beauty I see on Christmas. I want to wish you a very beautiful, prosperous, reflective Christmas 2025. And we'll definitely look towards to seeing you in the new year and wish you a happy New Year 2026.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Top of the morning to you, our viewers. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Extra. My name is Joan N. Moronji, and yes, it is still a wet start to the day as rain is persisting in Kampala and around Kampala, and of course particularly here at Nile Avenue where we broadcast to you live as a UBC. Thank you for accompanying us at this morning as we inspire you today. You know, today we pivot to a topic that rarely receives prime time attention but affects every single one of us: the health of our local forests. Many of us, you and me who is watching, see it as just an environmental issue, but it is a critical economic and a public health issue. So today we discuss why forest conservation must be a priority for political candidates. As we speak, we are in the elections period, campaigns and elections in January. So Uganda decides 2026. And to help us dissect into this matter today, we have two distinguished guests from Good Forest Foundation Uganda. That is Mr. James Tembo and Miss Maria Naskombe. Good morning to you, Mr. James.
Good morning, Joan. Nice to be here. Thanks for the show and thanks for hosting us.
Okay.
And thanks for inspiring people.
Okay. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning, Joan.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for braving the rain this early morning.
Oh,
yes. You relate or you can't relate?
I relate.
You relate. Okay, as we delve into this, reports indicate 2024-2025 key forests and regions under destruction in Uganda include Bogoma Forest, experiencing severe degradation due to encroachment, with reports of illegal clearing, including for sugarcane. We also have the Kalangala district region. This has lost over 50% of its forest cover in the last 2 decades, reducing from a whole 57% to 22%. Now that is alarming. The Northern Albertine Rift is experiencing high rates of degradation in major natural forests. And when we go to the Karamoja sub-region, forests like Kadama, Timu, Morongole are suffering from overgrazing by domestic animals. And many more regions. We have Luwero, we shall keep talking about them. So we need to know, what is the current situation of Uganda's forestry, and why should the viewers even care, take interest in this, Mr. James?
Okay, wow. Greetings, viewers. Good morning to you, those in the country and those watching us from over the world. We greet you and we send you greetings. Thanks to UBC for hosting us today, and again, thank you for always keeping inspiring. James Tembo is my name, just like I mentioned. I work at Good Forest Foundation. And yes, everyone should care and everyone should worry when the forests are getting changed into sugarcane, like you mentioned, into palm oil plantations. We need to worry. If you might be aware, the forestry sector we were at 24% as a country. Natural cover? Natural cover, okay. 24%. 2005, we had moved from 24% to 9%. And so we were losing 120,000 hectares every single year.
Those are million hectares every single year?
120,000 hectares. Oh. Okay. A hectare has 2 playgrounds, 1 hectare. So 120,000 hectares, you multiply times 2.5, those are the number of playgrounds we are losing each and every year up to 2005. And so we have kept losing this. However, currently, because of the efforts, and I want to appreciate, of course, government through the NDP3 and the running out of trees campaign, now it has come a bit high again. As we speak, we are now at 13%. So because of the efforts and what people are doing, and people have now become awakened, everyone now has to plant a tree because people have seen the reality, they have suffered the effects of climate change. So when people talk about forestry, so people like, I need also a seedling.
I've seen the Buganda Kingdom, was it the Kabaka Katekiro?
Yeah.
Encourage them, if you are going for an introduction ceremony, please carry along a seedling of a tree.
Because what happened from 1990 to 2000, that degradation. Yeah. Do you imagine cutting or losing 120 hectares per year, and then you have all that range? And so there was a lot of impact, effect, and shock, climate shock that people experienced. And so now we are at 13% as of 2024, and the country has a target in NDP3, which is now getting into NDP4, that by 2026 we should be at 15%.
So next year. It's not a few weeks to a few weeks to 2026.
We are just being ambitious, and we hope that we can achieve that. So the country has been losing that, and now NFA and the Ministry of Water and Environment, together with the government, the current government, and NEMA have been trying to make sure they put efforts. And so we are now away again from 9%, trying to go up. And so congratulations to government for the efforts they have invested in, and the donors and the funders that are doing all that work with reforestation.
Before I ask you about why should forest conservation be a key issue in the current election period, tell us, what do you people do at Good Forestry Foundation, Uganda?
Oh, thank you so much again,
Why did you
Joanne.
even pick interest?
Okay, I think that will also then feed into your question, which was saying before you ask me. You know,
you can as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I did forestry at university.
Wow.
And forestry is a passion. You cannot say I'm going to get paid the equivalent to the amount of work I invest in. You have to be passionate to love. The way you will say, I love traveling. So you will have people who love doing it as a passion. And so as an organization, we see what is happening and we see what communities are going through. And yet we know that with the knowledge we have gained, there is something we can do to change our communities and contribute to government. And so our role as an organization, we exist to make sure good forests are there to provide a solution to climate challenges. And so we envision good forests as climate solutions. We work in communities. We will not hear us on national level. We work to make sure there is impact. We work to establish community nurseries in schools, in institutions, working with churches to grow these trees. We do not plant trees, we grow trees. Plant and nurturing is the process we call growing. Okay. And so we grow trees and then monitor them and measure that impact and report it to the Ministry of Water and Environment for absorption into government programs.
Okay, is it an NGO or government-funded foundation?
We are an NGO, of course. We are NGO,
well
and
done.
we are working very well with the Ministry of Water and Environment, which is representing government in this sector.
Okay.
We have so far, we've been here since 2018, existing as Fair Ventures worldwide, and we recently transitioned into Good Forest Foundation. Fair Ventures was Germany-based, and so because of a thought, a learning that local impact is more stronger when you empower the local people, they became a local organization. And to date, from 2018, we planted 1 million trees in the whole country, and when we monitor, we have 78% of these trees surviving. And I would want to call on everyone who plants trees, make sure what you grow, you're able to monitor it and see how many of them are existing. Because we have been planting trees ceremonially.
Yeah.
Would be having a forest everywhere, because every ceremony someone plants a tree. A minister visits, there is a tree planted. So we'll be having a forest. But coming to your question, why should the voter care about conservation? Why should the politician care?
Why should it be an issue right now?
Absolutely.
In this election period.
As we are getting into the voting period, you as an electorate, you as a candidate, you need to care about the environment and conservation. Because today, when I left home, I had breakfast. That breakfast was cooked on firewood.
Really?
All of us, someone has either used firewood or charcoal. I am very sure that even people who have a fussy kitchen, they have a sack of charcoal in the behind kitchen. At the back, there is a sack of charcoal. So you need to care, because you need fuel for cooking your tea, for preparing your food. For some people use it for ironing their clothes, because maybe the electricity is not on. We need it to move the turbines. You need water. So you need environment conserved. You need everything conserved, because you need water. For you to have this light, the turbines need to move. They are not moved by wind. Apparently in Uganda, they are moved by water. You need a fruit. Every time you are moving to Nakasero, you have to buy a mango, you're buying a papaya. It is coming from a tree. It's coming because of someone has conserved. So we need to matter. You have people moving, staying in slopes of mountains, Mount Elgon. We're always saying, let's plant bamboo. Why? Because it is going to help us hold the soil together. And so you need to matter, because forest will give you food. It will give you shelter. It will give you timber. It will give you medicine. There are people who depend on it for herbs. It will give you income. When you sell the timber, you have the money. And so you have, as a politician, as a voter, as we head into election, you need to look at that candidate. What is he speaking about conservation? Because that candidate also, you might give us a leader who is going to sell the forest tomorrow.
Oh, yes, I've seen.
And he's going to say, me, I sign, let's convert this forest into a sugarcane factory. We just had another wrangle in Entebbe where a forest is being converted and given to Chinese to put a supermarket or something of the kind. So the leaders, as we get into this, we need to vote leaders that are mindful about conservation and that they value the impact the communities get from conserving forests.
Very profound. Now over to you, Ms. Maria Naskombi. How do forests directly affect food, water, health, and the entire livelihoods of an ordinary Ugandan?
Thank you, Joanne, and good morning, Uganda. Usually, forests are taken as something that is supposed to be there. No one minds about taking care of them, but they have a significant role they play in all those things you've mentioned. Like, for example, when you remember our basic science, forests help in forming grain. You've noticed recently, like we used to have seasons of, we plant in March, April to May, then we wait, then we have September to November or December. But this year around, it has been so hot.
Unpredictable.
Very unpredictable. And why? Because people are cutting down the forests, which directly affect, for example, if we receive rain, the crops grow.
Okay.
Yeah, so forests play a very significant role. It has been mentioned by James. All the things we benefit from forests, medicine, like traditional medicine. People usually, like our forefathers knew that. They didn't cut these forests. That's why we found them now.
Okay.
But us, we are just cutting everything. Where can I put a building? Where can I maybe like develop? Everything is development. No one is talking about conserving the forest. Okay. But they play a very serious role in
in their livelihoods.
Exactly.
Okay, so can you tell me some of the things or the challenges communities are facing as a result of forestry loss?
A number of challenges. For example, like we've been mentioning, prolonged drought. People this year have suffered with like agriculture. People are not planting in the times they're supposed to plant, and if it rains, it is very heavy. So it's either prolonged drought or flooding. So that there is extreme of everything: extreme flooding, extreme drought, and for James can speak more into that, maybe.
Okay.
Yes, I thank you so much, Maria. I happen to come from an area that suffers from floods. I come from Kasese.
Oh.
And so, as I speak, I have relatives who are in the IDP, internally displaced camps. And someone who had a home now doesn't have a home. Why? Because of a natural calamity that is coming as a result of human error. You've had people who have died because they have been swept by floods. True. Okay? Ham would be an example, just the one recently here in Kampala. And so our effort, people have seen this, how communities have seen the reality of negligence on the end of conservation. The leader you vote can decide to make sure you thrive in your community or you actually end. Because if your land is there and this person says, let's give away this forest. We had the Mubuk flooding. The whole hospital, Chilembe Mines Hospital went.
True.
How many people are benefiting from that hospital? But it's because of maybe someone, somewhere in some years who said, let's encroach on this land. Because the river had a river bank, had land, and then communities started digging up to the river bank. That river bank is supposed to be conserved as a conservation effort for a purpose. And so when people went and started tilling the land, the river bank, and so there was leaching, and when the water came, they had nowhere to pass, and you had thousands of people getting affected, hundreds of homesteads getting vanished, and people now in a camp. Someone has no land. Can you imagine you were a landlord, you come back and there is a river, you don't have land.
You don't, I know, I can imagine.
What do you tell your grandchildren?
You begin developing certain illnesses that you wouldn't have developed. Over to you, Ms. Maria, again. What role do you think should political leaders play in a bid to conserve forests?
I believe political leaders are like the voice for the people who are mostly underrepresented. So if they can speak, like for example, there are already laws, there are strategies, there are policies that speak into environmental conservation. So if our political leaders can directly speak into that and maybe enforce these policies, enforce these laws that are supposed to conserve, that are supposed to aim to conserve the environment, then it would be something that is beneficial to the bigger population. Community. Yes.
Okay, Mr. James, do you think political candidates have spoken enough about forestry conservation?
Okay, thank you again, Joanne.
Amidst what is happening, because we've watched their campaign trails.
I think I want to give credit to His Excellency the President of Uganda.
Okay.
He's the only candidate I've heard him speak about forestry and wetlands. Even when, you know, after campaigns, he still goes and have press conferences.
True.
I've heard him speak about it to the people in the east who are planting rice in the wetlands and telling them, you need to move away. We can have other livelihood options that you can do in the wetlands, but while you're not draining by maybe like fishing, something like that.
Yeah.
So I have not, the rest of the candidates, I've not heard anyone speak about conservation. And I want to challenge all leaders, whether you are LOC1, whether you're MP, whether you're a mayor, please, conservation does not discriminate. Yeah. It will not either know it will not know which party you're supporting, it will not know whether you're rich or poor, it will not discriminate whether you're white or African. Conservation impacts come full board to all of us. So as we head into elections, as we are campaigning as leaders, please give attention to conservation, because we have electorates who are like me, who want to look at your manifesto and want to see what you plan to do in the coming government when you go through. Yeah. Because, like I mentioned, We don't want to vote a leader who is going to give away a forest, who is going to give away a wetland,
Absolutely.
who is going to give away something, okay? We don't want to vote a leader who is politicizing environment. Because like I've said, the environment is not going to say, this is James Temble's family, and because he was the member of parliament who allowed the deforestation, so we can save you. No, environment is environment. The impact comes to all of us in the same measure.
Okay.
And so as we look out for those politicians, those candidates, make sure you get someone who focuses or who is good at conservation. Because again, these leaders are the ones who allocate funds in parliament. They are the ones who pass policies.
Okay.
So the leader you are going to vote should have an idea. If there is we are amending a tree planting act,
NEMA.
and we are saying, or NEMA, and we are saying that we should allow the remove of central forest reserves like Mabira, and we allow people to put factories. Is your candidate you are looking at going to say, bring and we sign? They are just even bringing snakes in the area, okay? We need to have a person who has a mindset, who knows that actually forests do not only bring snakes, and also these snakes actually are good for us. Even the monkeys. Because you are having tourists.
Exactly.
Tourism is the booming sector that is contributing to the GDP of this country.
Sure.
So tourism is not alone. Tourism will not happen alone. Okay. Even when you visit Queen, you see those lions. They are conserved. It's still conservation.
Okay.
When the people kill them, who is crying because they are losing money? That's revenue.
Very
these
true.
leaders should be looking at conservation in a wide landscape.
Okay, indeed, the wrath of deforestation will affect each one of us, irrespective of your political affiliation. Let's take control. So, Mr. James, what practical solutions or actions can communities take on to protect and preserve forests?
Okay, thank you so much again, Joanne. And communities, we are also a community here.
Of course.
And you know, people who have gone to school, when you talk about community, they think a village.
A village, yeah. I agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about community, we are talking about
Ways.
you. Even you, your family, that's a community, okay? So what should communities do, including you?
Yes.
You watching us on the phone, online, you know, people think community is just the LOC1, the village.
Exactly, the parish,
Please.
Muluka.
Everyone is a community. You can do something. What can communities do? And I will start with also what government has done to make sure they give a chance to communities. Government has around 506 central forest reserves. And government has given us a chance. Government has noticed that they don't have the money, enough money to plant. And so government has allowed the communities to enter the forests by giving us licenses. Me and you, as an individual, we can apply. An organization like UBC can apply to get a license and get part of the Central Forest Reserve of government land. You don't have to buy. So you can go get that land and plant your trees and harvest them and get money.
Isn't there a lot of bureaucracy if I'm applying?
Bureaucracy can be another thing, but there is no bureaucracy. Just apply and follow the processes, you will get money.
Once you follow the due processes, you don't have any issues.
You will get the land and plant your own trees for your own benefit. Government has done that. Government has gone ahead to say, if I am a local farmer and I'm not able to, if you are fearing bureaucracy, like you're mentioning, bureaucracy, a community that is adjacent to a forest, at the LOC1, they can apply and get what we call CFM. The farmer you're seeing on the TV is one of the farmers who applied for land in a Central Forest Reserve. That lady applied for land, and now she has her forest. Okay. And so you can apply as an individual, as a group, as a company. What can communities do? Community engage and benefit from these platforms that government has put. 2, look out for organizations like we, Fair Ventures Worldwide, now Good Forest Foundation. We have nurseries in those communities. The reason why we put those community nurseries is because when the rain comes, you carry your basin on the head to the nursery and say, I have come to pick seedlings. Good Forest Foundation has a nursery here. These seedlings are for free. Let me have. And this is
giving them out for free?
For free. We train the farmers for free. We give these seedlings for free.
Mr. Temple,
we also plant for farmers for free. The farmers' role is to manage.
You are on record.
Absolutely.
At Good Forest Foundation Uganda. you give out these seedlings for free and you train the farmers for free. Are you ascertaining to that?
Absolutely, for free. The 1 million trees I said we planted are given out for free. These are raised in our own nurseries.
Okay.
These nurseries are in those communities for a local farmer, because I don't want the farmer to say, me, I don't have transport to come to Kampala or to go to the city where the trees are. The nursery is in your area. As a community member, go, move to the community nursery, say, I've come to pick muyembe. I want the muyembe, I want the fene, jackfruit.
Oh, I can even choose. There is no dictation.
Absolutely, there is a variety. You say, and how can a community plant these trees? Because people say, me, I have a small plot of land. Let's also talk about that. If we have a small plot of land, you have maybe 1 acre in the village. These trees can be planted on the boundary.
Yeah.
Okay? So you don't have to worry now, my banana, I cannot bring in trees. These trees I'm talking about are also actually agroforestry trees. They don't have a negative impact on the crops that are already existing on the land. So you can have these trees planted on the boundary. You can scatter them. When you grew up at your home, I'm very sure you had, if you grew up in the village anyway, you had maybe a mutuba, which is a back tree. You had maybe a muyembe scattered somewhere. So trees can be scattered. You still have your beans, you still have your maize, you still have your avocado, jackfruit, and you have the shades.
So when we speak of trees, we don't necessarily mean the mahogany, we don't mean pine trees. We also mean the fruits can be trees.
Absolutely.
We are looking into matters of conserving the forests as Uganda decides 2026. We're taking a coffee break because it is really cold out here. We are returning shortly.
Thank you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that coffee break. You are watching UBC. Thank you for accompanying us this morning. We are talking matters of forestry conservation. As we are in the period of elections and campaigns, and with me here on site is Mr. James Tembo and Miss Maria Naskombi, all from Good Forestry Foundation Uganda, previously known as Fair Ventures Uganda. Is that true?
Today.
Okay, so I'm still coming to you, Mr. James.
Okay.
In the bid to conserve forests, because you've told us we need to do this, we shouldn't do that because we're here to learn and relearn. So are there any successful local conservation examples Ugandans can learn from? Because most of us Ugandans will believe by saying, oh, from taking code, no, who has told me so, what has it done for the other person?
Okay.
Are there any examples?
Yes, thank you so much, Joan. And one thing that I think people need to learn from is, like I mentioned, all of us, it's a responsibility of all of us. I have seen communities that have taken conservation in their own hands. We have something called CFM, Collaborative Forest Management Groups. These are community adjacent to forests that apply to government to get the land. This model has been very successful and community driven, that these people, because they are the first beneficiaries of this forest, I want to bring in the model of UA,
Uganda Wildlife
Authority. When you are close to a park, there is a contribution you're supposed to get from what people pay the revenue from the collection. And so NFA applied the same kind of model, because I give an example, let's say Kalinzu Central Forest Reserve that has chimps. People go there to see chimpanzees. And so a community that is adjacent to this forest is benefiting from this model. This money, the ones who get the rainfall more, they are the ones when they want herbs, they can easily access a forest, because may or not travel from Kampala to go to the forest to get herbs, the community close does. When there is rainfall, they are the first one to benefit.
True.
When there is firewood, because they also, when you are in a CFM group, you are allowed to go into the forest, collect firewood that has fallen, don't cut a tree. And so this community, this model has worked so well that then this community helps government in protecting. Okay. Because you and me will agree that government is always understaffed. Most of the times understaffed. And so a forest is a very huge estate and you need to have everyone's eye on it. And so the CFM model, the Collaborative Forest Management model, has helped to protect forests. And this is a model that has worked where communities are driving. We are working with some CFM groups in Chenjojo, in Kasese, and we have a lot of success. That is model number one. Model number two is where you have communities suffering from the impact. I gave you an example of Kasese.
Yeah.
Or maybe also talk about Mount Elgon, where people have had floods.
Yeah.
And then communities, Kasese people had to raise bamboo by themselves and make sure they planted this bamboo on the river bank by themselves to make sure the river is contained in where it's supposed to pass and water is not spilling over. The other community model, because I say the community is not the village, corporate companies, I've seen corporate companies coming up to support their social corporate responsibility, like we recently had one with Centenary, supporting greening. Corporate companies, be it any company, they always focus on money. And so I always feel a vibe when a corporate company comes in to only not look at profitability, but also look and appreciate environment and think that they need to contribute to environment. So all these are models that can work. And then us as an individual, I've seen private planters apply to NFA to apply for licenses, and people have woodlots.
Okay.
If you've been to Mubende, as you approach Mubende, there are forests you see along the road. Those are not, some of them are not for NFA. These are for private planters who have applied for licenses, like I said, that government opened up, applied for licenses and have planted. So there are different models that have worked that me and you, including the candidates, should be talking to you, giving you all this information, all these opportunities that you can actually apply for this land, this forest, and you protect it. Help
You
NFA.
actually get it.
And absolutely. It is because it's a public good. And NFA or government will entrust you, you manage it. Stop complaining. They are cutting trees, they are cutting trees. What are you doing? Government has given us a window. You can actually, as a community, mobilize yourselves and say, because you, NFA, you have failed to protect this forest and people are coming to cut it at night, us as a community want to apply for a CFM, Collaborative Forest Management Arrangement, and they will give you a license and you manage that forest.
Very profound. Heading over to you, Maria. What, as we head to the polls, what should voters demand from political candidates in regards to forest conservation?
First and foremost, the people who came before us saw the need to protect these places. That's why the forests were gazetted very many years ago, before we were even born. So I believe from our political candidates, we would want a commitment to have these forests protected. Like, they should commit to that, so that after the elections and whoever has gone through, we can look back and say, so you say you promised that these forests will be protected, and we would have to demand that from them. I also believe that we could, I don't know, is it request for more funding into the forestry sector? Like, most people are focusing on roads, which are important, but also forests need to be financed. Like, there is a lot that can be invested in forests, and also government can get revenue from the forests. Also, there are, like I said before, there are already policies and strategies in place to protect the
forests.
Yes. So if we have these enforced, what are they called? The people who are in the forest protecting the
Patrol?
The forest patrols.
Yeah, like in most forests, they have put the army, environmental police, having these people in place. I know sometimes people find it as something very contradictory, but if they can work together with the communities, but this also comes from the people we are putting into leadership positions to have this enforced.
Okay. From your submission, Maria, as I'm moving to Mr. Tembo, you know, we've had so many cases of unfulfilled promises. These political candidates come to the voters promising heaven and earth. If they promise what Maria has talked about, how do the voters hold them accountable after the elections once they go through in regards to the conservation of forests? Mr. James.
Okay. Okay, I think just like you said, politicians will, of course, promise.
Of course.
But how do we hold them accountable?
After elections.
After elections. One thing that I use is to monitor their promises, and maybe we could have in organizations or ministries, they have something they call annual reviews. I don't know if we could adopt the same model in politics. Like we say, can we, as people who voted you, call you home? Let me talk about like an MP. Let me talk small size. So we call you home and say, James Tembo, you came to us. You promised us that this sugarcane company that was fighting over Bugoma you will support us to make sure we fight together with you. Can we appraise ourselves? What have you? We have been working. You're not here. Can we have like annual or maybe mid-term reviews? Can we introduce that? And maybe also can we use the media? If as locals we have failed to get hold of this person, can we expose them? Can we use these methods of exposing them? James Tembo, while campaigning, he promised this, but this forest is going, or this wetland is going, and we put pressure on him. In that way, we will be reminding him, but also shocking him, because maybe he will not be expecting electorates to do that. But he will be held accountable and be like, I need to go back home. I need to revisit my manifesto and see what I promised people. And I think these leaders, we have become very silent, become very quiet, and yes, we need to demand. They are there for us. They are working for us because we are the ones who are putting them in office. And so we need to make sure we hold them accountable. Let's use community meetings. We could use community meetings as well. The moment we see him, we call him for a meeting, he doesn't show up, then we can be able to go to the media. But we could hold community meetings, we have community appraisals. Midterm, you promised this and it is not coming. What happened? Can you give us an appraisal? If it is about Mavira, just here close to Kampala, people who are benefiting from it, ecotourism, blah, blah. We say the forest is going, and yet this forest is employing this number of people. If it goes, we are going to lose this. You promised to do X, Y, and Z. How is it going? And if it's not responding, then let's blow it up.
How can the next government, what can they do differently for Uganda to make sure that the forests are conserved?
Okay.
After we have elected them into power.
Of course, now the new government, of course, number one is funding, money.
Money, exactly, to do it.
We need money because one, staffing.
You, the activists. Oh.
As of course, as
The
the government,
Department
as the ministry, let me first talk about the ministry. As
Okay.
ministry, I think government needs to invest more into conservation.
Okay.
Invest more money and be intentional. We've talked about, should I whisper it? We've talked about Kavera ban. Can we be intentional? Can we be?
Yeah.
Because every time we are struggling with the channels getting blocked, and let's be intentional about what we say as policies. If we have set up a policy, and let's implement it. Recently, there was a policy on putting waste bins in the car.
In the car, oh my
Who
God.
has one?
No one.
Who has implemented
But I've
it?
seen the buses. I've used the bus.
The buses have always had, but also
Really?
the buses always bring when you pass them Chomo point, and now they expect you to throw something.
I agree.
So can we be intentional in implementing these policies we put in place? That's money, and be intentional about policies.
Okay.
Can we bring? I know that government has operational wealth creation and are giving seedlings, but also as organizations, let's also be intentional and have a purpose for what we are doing.
Okay.
As we head into the year, as we head into the year, into the new government, what can we be intentional and make sure whatever we do is impacting the communities, not just cough-racing, the way the president always call it. There is no, I think it should be more than the impact on the community level. As conservationists, what we want to see is the impact.
Okay.
Not being in a workshop and talking about things. So as we plan our things in new leadership, in new government, let's make sure whatever we do is having an impact on the ground. As I mentioned, we have these nurseries in the communities. As we get into the new year, we want to not only do the trees. As we head into the new government, we don't want to only do timber trees, we want to do trees that can also give money. Can we also have coffee among the trees so that as a farmer comes, he says, I want mahogany, 2 of them, but I also want 3 coffee. So that you know after 2 years, the farmer is able to earn money from it. And through that, he's able to respond to climate shocks, to poverty at home, he's able to take kids to school. We want to also add in cocoa in the nurseries because cocoa is a new crop, now is a new thing. Can someone, as he goes to the nursery with his or her basin or sack to get a seedling, get jackfruit, but also get a cocoa, a cash crop that is going to give her money in 2 years, and you're able to get some money. And all these efforts as an organization that we are doing, we want them to contribute to the PDM targets.
Okay.
Because government has targets where every homestead is expected to increase their income by 20 million annually. And so we think we can contribute to this, and other players as well. Let's not leave this to only the government.
Okay.
Because as organizations, we are not working alone, by the way. We are not supposed to even be here. Our work is to supplement the efforts of government. So whatever we do, we need to be aligning it to government priorities and make sure it fits into the NDP for now and maybe the PDM model. Indeed,
we need to align whatever we do with the government policies, which takes me to clean cooking systems, and the government is really advocating for this. Do you think this will help to cut down deforestation once we adopt these new modern technologies of cooking?
Clean cooking is a topic that I always hammer very hard.
Oh.
Because we have these fancy people, even MPs. They have a fancy, you visit someone's house and they have a fancy kitchen there.
Okay.
But the food is not, they are serving you food is not coming from this kitchen.
Where is it coming from? From the behind
somewhere
kitchen?
there are sacks of charcoal, there are bundles of firewood. You are the people who are destroying our firewood. And yet you have the capacity to use gas.
And they're not telling us to.
And there are the politicians who are making policies. You get? So, please, as government is bringing the option on clean cooking, let's be intentional. But also as a community, people who come from the village, I don't know, maybe you've seen it at burials or functions, where people put 3 stones. You've seen they put the stone here, another, and they put a saucepan. That method we should have moved from it like thousands of years ago. Because that method, when you put in firewood, there is wind blowing, so flames are going, so the firewood that would cook for a week cooks for 2 days. Because the wind is blowing, so the heat is not concentrated.
So they will use more firewood.
More firewood,
and
more forests.
Trees.
You're cutting more trees. Can we also, at your level, mold something with mud? You just need soil with water.
For the modern stores.
For the modern stove, there are modern stoves that we can work on by just using mud and water. And you build something that is having your fire concentrated in one space. We call them Lorena stoves.
Okay.
I'm sure you've seen them. They are constructed just something just with mud, and you put it there. You put one piece, and it will cook the whole food for the day.
Okay.
And yet with the other 3 stones, you have firewood here. You have from this angle, more trees. So as we get into clean cooking, let's be very intentional as government also, and as policymakers, as politicians. Talk to your people. This message should not be only on TV. You who is listening to us, as a church leader, can you go tell your people on Sunday that please, on Christmas, when you are having a 3 stone, let's move away from that one. You can just mold this small thing, and the fire will be concentrated. The wind will not be blowing it. You will just have firewood from one space, not from 3 angles.
But maybe, okay, yes, Maria, you have a supplement.
But we should also commend the Ministry of Energy.
Okay.
Recently, they've had a drive all over the country, informing and sensitizing people about how to use clean energy. And I think that's a very great step if the new government or the existing government can keep up the speed, because there are many people in the villages who are taking up these clean energy technologies.
I think at some point they even gave free gas cylinders.
Yeah, at a discount,
Yes.
gas cookers,
Yeah,
with the government of Uganda.
we commend the Ministry of Energy for that. Like,
Okay.
it saves us a lot of work sensitizing people. Now they can see what it does. Like, if I use maybe a gas cooker or a pressure cooker, something like that.
And I've seen some chapat stores, they are using gas.
Yes.
But you know that we also have an issue there of mindset change.
Oh yeah.
Do you know there are men who will say, me, I want matoke cooked on fire, not on gas. But who told you?
I've heard of that.
Guys.
Someone says the tea I take should not be boiled from a percolator, electric kettle. It must be by fire. Oh my God.
You have seen men who don't want something on microwave. So
Exactly.
guys, culture is not static. Culture is dynamic. Culture moves. Culture evolves, okay?
But you can also use the firewood and the charcoal sustainably if you use the energy saving stoves.
But where we're able
But
to use
I know
electricity,
mindset.
where we're able to use electricity, let's move away from charcoal and
Sustainable.
wood. We are cutting more trees and we are going to suffer the impact. We're going to have more heat, more drought.
Yes.
Have you been to Kasese during hot season?
No.
Karamoja?
No.
Eastern?
No, not really.
Those
during
places
the
are boiling, and yet we can just plant the trees along the roads, we can plant the trees along the boundaries, and we have cold breezes.
Take an example of yesterday. It rained in the morning, but by around 4, it was as hot as it hadn't rained here in Kampala. But as we bring this to a close, what are some of your key messages, Mr. James, the viewers out there should remember about voting for forest-friendly leaders?
Now, as you vote your leaders, the leader you vote can either decide the forest to stay or the forest to go.
Yeah.
By doing the actions we've talked about, he can decide to say, the policies they make, the funding that they give, because they're the ones, again, who allocate finances. So the leader you're choosing is very important. You need to be critical on who you're selecting. What are your ambitions? What are your desires as a voter in terms of conservation, in terms of environment, in terms of forestry, in terms of forests? That person you're voting can choose to have that forest nearby you or the swamp nearby you to disappear in a minute or to stay. So as we go into voting, let's have this on top of our mind and know that whoever I'm voting, who is he? What can he do? Will he be able to stand for conservation? Will he be able to stand for environment? Will he be able to stand for our livelihood? Because forests are not just trees that you're seeing. We have agreed that forests give you rain, they contribute to rainfall, they give you food, they give you money, they give us jobs. Me, I'm a forester.
And oxygen.
I have a job. They give you oxygen through photosynthesis. They are sequestering carbon from the atmosphere, global warming, they're regulating the climate. So it is more than what we see. When you have, there are people who are struggling with the cancer, they are taking Prunus africana, a tree. So there are people who are surviving. I want you to know that there is someone who is surviving 100% on a forest. So as you get into that position of casting your vote, get someone who you know is not going to let that forest or that environment get degraded.
It is very clear that forests are the foundation of our existence, providing essential resources and supporting countless species if it comes to wildlife. So we need to join hands and ensure we conserve these forests, because me and you will in the long run be affected whether you want it or not. Today we were discussing matters concerning conserving forestry, especially from the presidential candidates now, political candidates who are vying for various terms. And with me today, I had Mr. James Tembo and Miss Maria Naskombi from Good Forests Foundation Uganda. Thank you for accompanying us until this time, and to the entire production and the technical team. You're doing an amazing job. My name is Joanne N. Moronje. Let's meet tomorrow in Good Morning Uganda. Bye-bye.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with